There are many parades that I would not be attending because I'd be focusing on the work of leading this city.
Which parades?
A number of them. I've already missed a number of those parades because I've been trying to speak to as many New Yorkers as possible.
Okay.
I don't have the list of all the parades I've missed.
Wow, that's a lot. The mayor should be going to all parades.
All right, so you may have missed this, but the best TV of the year was on last night, and that was the New York City mayoral debate. So in the debate stage, we had Zohran Mamdani. He is the Democratic nominee. He is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. We had Andrew Cuomo, and we had Curtis Sliwa. And I just want you to watch this question, which is about parades. This is nearly 2 minutes on how these men would approach the sore subject of parades as mayor.
Okay, gentlemen, New York City loves its parades, and the mayor is often front and center. You have all said that you want to be mayor for all New Yorkers. So will you march in all the parades that mayors have traditionally marched in, or are there any that you would boycott? Mr. Sliwa?
I think a mayor has a responsibility, whenever possible, to march in parades, to celebrate whatever that parade is performing as. I've been a Grand Marshal of the Pulaski Day Parade. I was proud to celebrate my Polish heritage.
Are there any that you would boycott, though? I just need to move this along.
Excuse me?
Would you boycott any of the city's parades?
No, I would not boycott any parades.
Mr.
It's the mayor's
Cuomo,
responsibility to be available to all racial, ethnic, and religious groups.
No, I wouldn't unless they discriminated.
Okay. Mr. Mamdani?
There are many parades that I would not be attending because I'd be focusing on the work of leading this city.
Which parades?
A number of them. I've already missed a number of those parades because I've been trying to speak to as many New Yorkers as possible.
Okay.
I don't have the list of all the parades I've missed.
Wow, that's a lot. The mayor should be going to all parades.
Let me ask you this.
Okay, before the follow-up, that is so amazing. Wow, that's a lot. A mayor should be going to all parades. Also of note, just when watching this, there's only one man on stage with the appropriate accent to be the mayor of New York City, and that is clearly Curtis. Even Andrew Cuomo, I know he has his, American Italian accent, but I just think that Curtis Sliwa's attitude is so perfect, especially when you compare him with someone like Mamdani. Look at this frame right now. Mamdani just has this smile grin from ear to ear, and I know some people like that, but to me it just seems very disingenuous. Curtis is totally genuine in his disgust for Zohran's approach towards parades. All right, someone pointed this out to me. This is probably insensitive, so that's great because I love being insensitive, but what is the necessity of live sign language translation when you could do closed captioning? I mean, she's working hard. I couldn't do that. She's busting out 3 moves per second, so maybe it moves more quickly than closed captioning. But anyway, let's get back to the parades.
Are there any parades that don't exist that you think should? Mr. Mamdani?
I haven't thought much about parades, to be honest with you.
Mr. Cuomo?
I have not thought. I don't even know what parade doesn't exist, frankly.
Could be for anything. Mr. Sliwa?
Every parade has the right to exist in New York City. I would ask
David? Thank you.
Mr. Mamdani, would you protect the Christopher Columbus statues that exist here in the city?
I'm telling you, my focus is on affordability. I'm not thinking about
Well, you're not
statues.
answering the question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He
not answering the question.
gave the finger to the Columbus Day statue.
That issue's come up.
That's what we
earlier
call
in
it,
the debate. All right, candidate,
disgraziado.
listen, we're in the last couple of minutes, and we thought
know what
we'd
that
have
means?
some questions.
Okay, I'm gonna assume that means disgraceful or something. I have to say I'm not up on my Italian slang or American Italian slang. But how is this not a skit? How is this not this is too funny to be on SNL, but how is this not an SNL skit? 2 minutes on parades. And what parades would you go to? What parades would you not go to? What parades should exist that do not exist? And I share Andrew Cuomo's bafflement because presumably New York City has a lot of parades. It would be difficult to come up with one that does not exist that you would want to exist. American Sign Language Parade, maybe? It could be, what if it was totally silent? Even the marching, it was very quiet. What if all the music was done in sign language too? That could be cool. Maybe that would, I don't know. We'll have to talk to the deaf community and see how they feel about that. All right, so there's some other good clips from last night too. These ones a little bit more serious. Zohran Mamdani shamed Andrew Cuomo for never setting foot in a mosque.
Candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except, that is totally false. I worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here.
Before I was here. Candidate in the Democratic primary for him.
Yeah, Zohran, because you kind of just washed up here as a kid. Like, you were born in Uganda. That's a significant thing. There's a reason why to become president of the United States, you have to have been born on U.S. soil. But I think Cuomo went the wrong direction with his response. Like he accepted Zohran's frame that visiting a mosque is this all-important thing, when it shouldn't be. Maybe it is, because there is this significant portion of the electorate that is Muslim now in New York City, and that's a bad thing. I think that's pretty obvious. Obviously, you can't really say that when you're running for mayor, so I guess I have some sympathy for Cuomo. But Zohran says, Muslims in New York City just want two things. They want equality and they want respect. Well, what sort of equality? Like, there's equality before God. There's the idea that we all have a soul, we're all made in the image of God, and that's a very different thing than saying, well, if your ethnic group on average brings in less money than another ethnic group on average, then you are a victim of discrimination. Like, leveling out that sort of inequality is a very different thing. I mean, as for respect, what are we respecting here? Zohran says Muslims just want respect. Okay, so he's talking about a group, and the only identifying characteristic he's given us is that they are all Muslim, right? That they all follow Islam. So why would we respect that? Like, if you're a Christian, or even if you're, I guess, an atheist, like, what what would you find respectable about, like, a group of people believing in something that you know to be incorrect and wrong? This reminds me a little bit of Minnesota, where they had that city council meeting or something, and a person stands up and says, hey, I really don't, I'm opposed to the fact that we have this mosque sounding the prayer wailing at like 4 a.m. And also, by the way, it's like against X city ordinance. And he just gets dressed down and screamed at. It's like, why is this should not be an issue in American politics, in American cities. This really should not be an issue. It's incredible that it is. But Zohran had another moment in this debate where he was pressed on, how exactly are you going to pay for all these free things, for these free buses, these benefits that you promise people? And his answer was pretty typical. So let's look at that.
But the question is how you'll make them free.
We will fund the revenue that would have otherwise been brought in from fares. And that's something that we would do in partnership with Albany. And I've put forward 2 proposals. The first is to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers by 2%. That would raise $4 billion. The second is to raise the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey, which would raise $5 billion.
But the question is how you'll make.
All right. So we are going to tax people more. We're going to squeeze out $9 billion more in taxes from people. I guess I'm not surprised, because Zohran's entire model is just kind of wealth redistribution. And I think redistribution is a bad term, because it implies that, like, oh, there's this, like, a pool of monopoly money, and some random person hands out $5 to one person and 3 cents to another person. When in fact what you're doing, you're just stealing from people. You're just saying, all right, you made that money, and it's mine now. I'm going to take it. I know how to use it better than you. I deserve it more than you do, and these people also deserve it more than you do. So I guess we'll see, but it really looks like Zohran Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York City. I would love it if it were Sliwa. I would love for him to unleash his cats upon the city to clean up the rats. I think he called them caped crusaders by night, which I adore because it's like something out of a film noir, like a Batman movie. But maybe Zohran will run the city into such a state of disarray that by the end of his tenure, people will be begging for Curtis to come save them from the madness that's been unleashed. And the clips I watched didn't even touch on, some of his other policies, which are like to decrease the prison population, which I'm sure is going to make New York safer, and to tax wealthier and whiter neighborhoods at a higher rate. So we will see how it goes. But let me know what you thought of this debate in the comments section below. Give this video a like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, let me know your thoughts on parades. Why not?